You have an itch and you want it to be scratched. Who says that he's not even dying for you to initiate?
Exactly.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Maybe some men have that ego.
Remember, tonight, he's your slave. Yeah.
I love the sound of that.
It's not actually the act itself.
It is the attitude.
It's the build-up.
So in a case where you have a misunderstanding with your man, how do you still hold him down in the bedroom? Do you get? And sort of make him know that you still have the juice. No matter how much you guys have quarreled, make sure that in the midst of it, you guys two are still intimate. Whether you solve the problem or you do not solve the problem, make sure that you're intimate, because that space is a space where the devil comes in and disintegrates your home farther apart. Let it be revealing. Let all your assets begin to show.
Because it's not every woman out there that will be as creative as that. So
it's the effort that you put into the bedroom. A lot of time, I know that we're carried by the cares of the world, and so we do not put in effort in the bedroom. And that's one of the reasons why some men can get resentful and just want to look outside. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, I and Esther were going to be talking about how to make a guy a believer in the bedroom.
Exactly.
A believer, most especially when he's been a bad boy. I actually want to teach him a lesson and make him realize that you're still the queen in the bedroom. No matter the games that he's playing, you know how to handle him in the bedroom. And at the end of the day, he becomes rewired.
Exactly.
And number one way, some people might think it's punishment, but I call it ecstasy withheld.
Wow.
Right? Now, this is what this is all about. Edging. I know I have talked about edging on my channel a couple of times, right? Assuming this guy has not been giving you attention, maybe you guys have had misunderstanding a couple of times, and you're in that point where ovulation has come. You know, when ovulation comes, that is when
we start feeling some kind of
your body starts desiring, or your body starts aching for touch and warmth from that love one, your partner, your soulmate,
your mate.
You're
in heat.
You're in heat and you have an itch and you want it to be scratched. But you guys have not been in a good terms like that. This is what you do. This is where you know that you have to bring out your femininity and just be a tad bit submissive and be all smiley, giggly, and make sure that you start to pay attention from the very moment he wakes up till the time he's at work before coming back home. Because look, intimacy progresses rapidly when you start having conversation from the time he's at work till the time he's closed from work, so that it builds,
sets the mood.
It sets the mood right. You can't be at loggerhead with your man and you're in a mood and you want to get it on.
It's not automatic.
And you're just caressing him or you're touching him in the middle of the night like, honey. No, he will not respond to that. He will know that you're in your ovulation period or this is when you need him. What you need to do is swallow that pride, right?
Yeah.
And then greet him in the morning. If he answers or he doesn't answer, that is his cup of tea. Because you know what the agenda is. You have to set it right.
Exactly.
So the agenda is to build the momentum. And momentum is, okay, he goes to work. You just slightly tell him, do have a great day at work. And then he goes to work. And maybe it's been a while that you haven't really asked him during work or while he's working. You haven't really asked him, oh, so babe, what are you going to eat when you come back? What do you want so that I can prepare? He might be taken aback by the fact that
the sudden warmth.
Yeah, the sudden warmth. You're taking an interest in him. After, let's say, a week, you haven't even cared to ask what he needs or what food. You just prepare anything and you dump it on the table when he comes back. But this time, you're quite intentional. He will be taken aback, and probably he might just ask you, is everything okay? You just tell him, everything is okay. I just want to make sure that you're okay, and I want to prepare a dish for you. I think you deserve it. And you go all out and you prepare dish, carefully curated, served, prepared for him. Then when he comes back home,
I love where this is going.
When he comes back home, make sure that his water is prepared for him to take his bath. And you ask him about his day. You serve his meal. He eats. And then if he wants to sit down to watch TV, you could sit by his side and just have little talk. Especially if you guys have not sorted out your issues before now. Maybe this is a time that you can now call, a truce and have that conversation with him. And if there is any need for you to apologize for the part that you played, go on and apologize. And when he accepts and apologizes as well, because it has to be mutual too. Exactly. All right. Even if it's not mutual, there is a way that you can make it that he apologizes afterwards. And that is where we're going to. So a man is always going to be a man. Man, no, they vex reach where bedroom day. And you are the woman.
There are places that you touch him.
You already know him. So you
arm him.
Of course. There are places that you know that he reacts quickly to. So you just start. He's watching a movie. You can just slightly put your hands on his lap. He's your man. No shyness in this thing.
Exactly.
If you want it, you want it. And he knows there is nothing to be pretentious about.
And there's no rule that says only the man should go after the woman.
So you initiate. Who says that he's not even dying for you to initiate?
Exactly.
Do you get? Maybe some men have that ego, right? You have to break it down. Two captains cannot
steer the same ship.
Exactly. So the foreplay starts. You peck his neck, peck his cheek, and in the process, I have never had this conversation with someone here. I swear, it's just been me.
So in the process, let's go.
So in the process of you having that sexual interaction with him, you could just tell him, I'm sorry. Don't be upset. I really did miss you. I have missed you for a long time. Just, how I have taught you how to use your bedroom voice bar. Use it. And make sure that you're not going there with your cardigan like this. You're not covering your hair with a beret like mine. You are in your sexy outfit. Let it be revealing. Let all your assets begin to show. Even before he walks down the path through the door. Make sure that he sees that there is something fishy going on. What's going on? He knows quite all right that this woman, there's something wrong. Men are smart as well. They can read the room. So he already knows that this is tilting towards something, or this is tilting towards a different direction entirely. So when he gets into the bedroom, or when you finish your foreplay, kissing, make sure that it is passionate. It is not rushed. Remember, you guys have not had it in maybe, let's say, 3 days, if it is that wild. If it is that crazy, you guys haven't had it for one week. Let's not even go to 1 month, because are you mad that you are not having intercourse with your partner for 1 month?
But it does happen.
I know it does happen, but I think that there should be a way where both partners can one should actually come to a point where they break that pride. Because I feel like when couples are not having sex in a long, protracted period of time, it causes a strain. And except you want that strain in your marriage or in your relationship, then you can go all out and go for 2 months for all you care. But if you really do care about the sustainability of your marriage or relationship, I feel like no matter how much you guys have quarreled, make sure that in the midst of it, you guys two are still intimate. Whether you solve the problem or you do not solve the problem, make sure that you're intimate, because that space is a space where the devil comes in and disintegrates your home farther apart. So back to what I was saying. He's now turned on. You know how I do it. You know how I have taught you guys to do it. Maybe you were in the sitting room and he's right there. You have gone down on him and it's about that time to get to the bedroom.
Yeah.
You hold him by not the hand now, by the joystick, and you move down to the bedroom. And guess what? That's where you start to do what I call edging. What is edging? Edging is stimulating your partner to a point where they reach, almost a point of climaxing, but you do not let them fall off the cliff. Falling off the cliff is, them finally having that orgasm, right? You do not, maybe you would figure out that your partner better. You know how they react when they're about to fall off the cliff. So when you know that he's becoming highly reactive to the things that you're doing, you immediately stop. And he might even be obsessed with you that you're stopping, because not a lot of people can endure edging. When you stop, you go on to doing other things like kissing, caressing, and whatnot. You're not stimulating his joystick or whatever. And then when you know that he has relaxed, you come back on doing the same stimulation that you had done to get him to the edge. Maybe you can do it 2 or 3 times. It will be frustrating. But the last time that you're going to edge him to reach his climax, you allow him
what an explosion.
You allow him to just reach his climax. And guess what happens? The orgasm that he would have will be 10 times more heightened than the normal orgasm he would have had if it was just a one-time thing, like one-time stimulation. That way, his body will shutter is it shutter? How do they call it? His body will shake, tremble, because it is much more heightened than the normal. That's one way that you can teach him that you still have the juice. You still have the control over that stuff that he's carrying.
The mantle
between
his legs.
And do you know that kind of heightened sensation that you give to a man, right? Is not something that a lot of women do, because I don't think a lot of women understand what edging is. And edging can also be done to a woman too. Like for the man, if you want to get your woman, a woman's orgasm much more heightened, you can practice edging with her. When you see that she's about coming, you stop.
And trust me, by the time you're done with him, whatever caused the conflict between the both of you,
it will be solved. Before you know it, you guys are already hugging.
Yeah, it's not everything that you sit down, call a meeting, you did this, I did that. Just try this one. You wouldn't need to talk too much.
I really like the fact that you made mention of the fact that it's not every conversation or every argument or quarrel that you end with, oh, okay, let's sit down and have a chit chat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sort it out on the bed.
That's it. That's why you're a couple.
You sort it out on the bed after the hot smooshy section.
Steamy.
Smooshy session with him. Steamy, hot, passionate, like soulful. We're not talking about superficial love making right now. Depth, something that is soulful. It is your soulmates, 2 souls merging together as one, right? After that one, during the hugging process, that's the how do they call it now? The rejuvenating or relaxing, the cuddling process. You're already starting to talk about what transpired, or maybe not talking about what transpired. You're already apologizing for your attitude. And that's for him as well. It could still be the same thing for him.
Exactly.
He might start apologizing for, being insensitive to your plight and the situation, and hopefully it never reoccurs again.
Yeah. Wow. This is really it. Oh gosh, that was wonderful. So
Yeah.
guys, yeah, it's like we said, most of that's why you're a couple, a husband and wife, and most things you don't have to talk too much about it. You don't have to drag it all out, and when it ends there, after everything, you guys have kissed, you have forgotten about it, don't go and bring it all up again. Just let it be in the past, and let's go with the new vibe, the passionate vibe, and build on it. So guys, we've just finished talking about aging. Another way where you can still show your man that you have what it takes, is to be a dominatrix. I don't know if you've heard that word.
All right.
Okay. So a lot of women are submissive, they're just sublime in the bedroom. They just, they even look away, the man comes, starts to touch them, and they act like, okay, I'm giving in, you're chasing me, all of that. Your husband, your man has been used to that for years. So why not give him a taste of something else? You don't have to be dominating with whips and handcuffs and all that, but in your voice, you can let him know that tonight I'm in charge. Come here, you've been a bad boy, and I'm your mistress. And while you're doing this, for you to have an upper hand when you're being a dominatrix, you have to dress to kill.
Yeah.
You have to dress to kill. If you don't have such lingeries in your wardrobe, get a new one. Okay? Just get, like, there's this lingerie. When I first got married, there's this lingerie that I had, and it had the I don't want to call the name, open, both of them open, and then it had the area open.
Yeah.
They're hanging out there. So you don't even need to do much. Men see you, everything is jiggling.
Men are very visual,
Very
right?
visual.
So you have to play around with his sight.
And you can have something like that and just pair it with black gloves. Just pair it with black gloves and maybe a hose. Something different that he's not used to. It's not just all the time that you give him the normal, the usual, and then you just have that commanding voice. Remember, tonight he's your slave. Yeah.
I love the sound of that. He's your slave tonight. He's been a bad boy, especially when he's been a bad boy.
Naughty boy. And you're here to punish him with sweetness. And then you just let him know that tonight you're just going to, give it to him a different way. It's not actually the art itself.
It is the attitude.
It's the build up to the art.
Okay.
Like you said, the edging, you don't take him to the climax as easily as, expected. But this time around, you're not, just going, you're not being direct. You're playing around. It's like role playing. And then you could be anything. You could be a nurse with your little nurse cap on. They hire those things, they're costumes.
Yeah.
You play around with all those things. It adds to, because it's not every woman out there that will be as creative as that. So
it's the effort that you put into the bedroom. A lot of time, I know that we're carried by the cares of the world, and so we do not put in effort in the bedroom. And that's one of the reasons why some men can get resentful and just want to look outside.
It becomes a chore.
But this time around, being that you guys have been, not you guys haven't been in a very good place, it's that time for you to redirect it into a positive path. And how you do that is by also investing in your lingerie. Like she said, she made mention of getting that sexy lingerie you know, because men are visual beings. So
Very
you have to play around their sight. You have to play around their sight. So that night you're looking alluring, so that at the end of the day, you get him to either apologize or do something. Because there are some men who cannot apologize. What they do,
they will.
what they do, they can apologize through maybe
At that point,
sending you money.
if you want an apology with with your sexy get up, with him almost getting there, you can raise the issue.
Yeah.
You naughty boy, why did you do that to me? Why did you do that to me? He will be the one to say, oh, sorry,
especially when you've moved him to a point where he needs to get in, and you're not allowing him get into the juicy part, right?
The Garden of Eden.
The paradise.
Yeah.
You're not letting him in until he apologizes. I hope you're not with a man who is very proud, because some men, they will say, "Men, burn that thing."
not with the sweetness.
Not with the sweetness.
Yeah.
So that's just one way that that's how you can get a man to play right, you know, and just redirect his attention to you again if he's been swaying apart. So this is where we end it until we come your way again.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
No, we've not even scratched the surface.
We're just trying as hard as possible not to make our videos really lengthy. When we come back, we're going to show you how you can hold down your man in the bedroom like never before. From me to you is, mwah, I love you. God loves you best.
Have a lovely evening.